Innovation theater. Steve Blank just wrote this article. Well, it was a few months ago, but it's kind of stuck with me. Why do companies do innovation theater instead of actual innovation? How would you sum this up in like 2 or 3 sentences, Nick?
Yeah, I think what he's talking about with innovation theater is basically companies do stuff that sounds cool. They issue big press releases, but it actually doesn't make much of a difference at the end of the day for customers, doesn't provide a lot of value. It's like hopping on buzzwords like AI, and we'll open up an accelerator around blockchain, but none of this stuff actually really makes it to market. It's, we'll do a little ideation maybe, and it makes you sound like a better place to work and like you're on top of things, but it isn't actually fundamentally changing anything at the end of the day, or not much. That's kind of the high level of what innovation theater is. And basically he's saying that it's very hard for new companies to change. And at a high level, they focus on process rather than kind of the results. And if they try to fit new things into the existing processes, that's how you basically get this innovation theater where you go through the motions, but don't actually get the results.
All of these are great strategies and tools that business schools build and consulting firms help implement. He's talking about process to run and improve the core business, not process to go and figure out how to do disruptive innovation. Kind of just like processing the hell out of it. And you're doing a lot of stuff, but it's not meaningfully driving anything home. And
you're checking the boxes, basically.
Yeah, you're doing all the things. But and I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges going a level deeper is how do you get the right focus to understand? Yeah, if I'm a big multi-billion-dollar company, I mean, there's literally a million things that I could go and look at investing in or doing like corporate accelerators on, or, what's the impact of like AI and blockchain, and fill in 5 other buzzwords, right? And like, how do you get that focus? And I think that's one of the big challenges where you say, hey, these are strategic priorities. We need to, invest, partner, buy, build, against these different priorities. How do you lay that out? How do you help give structure to your innovation teams to say, these are the kinds of deals that we want to go and do? Or these are the kinds of prototypes, hacks, things that we need to build from scratch, right? Or here's some of the stuff that we need to do internal and external on.
And I think also, as importantly, what do you say no to?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the challenge. Is if you have a lot of resources, it's very easy to kind of dabble in a lot of different things.
Right.
But without that focus and say, yeah, that's interesting, but that's not for us. That's how you kind of get strung out in this way.
Yep. And I think, the cheat code that we use is basically one of the underlying principles of the show, which is that platforms are king. And when you understand, like Sun Tzu, right? It's like when you understand the enemy and you say, hey, platforms are coming in here. Platforms are the dominant business model. I don't need to worry about 50 different types of business models. I need to understand the platform business model. And then maybe it's not best for me to be the platform business model. But if I understand that the platform business model is coming into my industry, how do I either own that, or how do I respond? And how do you get that focus? Because I think this trend, this kind of macroeconomic shift of platforms coming into traditional, and we're still in the early stages.
Right.
I mean, we've kind of seen it just scratch the surface. It's like consumer media with like user-generated content and all these like social media apps. You've seen it in retail. Now we're starting to see it get into the belly of the beast of the true economy, financial services, logistics, trucking, B2B distribution. Amazon's only doing like $15 billion in B2B distribution. We're still so early in really seeing the impact. It's not even in healthcare. We're just starting, and these are massive, massive, massive industries where I think healthcare is $3 trillion, consumer retail is $2.5 trillion. I mean, just many of these industries are much larger than the existing industries that have been penetrated so far. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.